The ocean looks empty from the surface. Swim down far enough though, and that changes fast. Today we are going through every ocean structure in the game, what is inside, why it matters, and whether it is worth getting your boots wet. Let's get into it. Ocean Monument. The Ocean Monument is the ocean's way of saying you are not welcome here. The second you get within 50 blocks, 3 Elder Guardians hit you with Mining Fatigue 3. Your mining speed drops so far that breaking a block feels like hitting bedrock with a stick. Kill all 3 and it goes away permanently, which is the entire first goal of every monument visit. The structure itself is a maze with guardians shooting lasers at you the whole time, 0 natural light, and no map. The sponge room is the priority. Around 30 wet sponges on the ceiling that drain entire rooms of water when dried out, turning a nightmare into something manageable. Treasure Chamber sits in the center with 8 gold blocks waiting behind dark prismarine. Set up a conduit in a cleared room and you get permanent water breathing and haste for free. The prismarine and sea lanterns are some of the best looking blocks in the game, which makes coming back worth it even after the gold is long gone. Shipwreck. Shipwrecks are exactly what they sound like. Sunken ships scattered across the ocean floor and occasionally buried on beaches or frozen into icebergs. They generate in 3 states, upright, tilted, or fully upside down, and the condition of the ship determines which parts of it actually generated. A complete shipwreck has 3 chests, a supply chest with food and materials, an equipment chest with armor and tools, and a treasure chest with emeralds, diamonds, and most importantly, a buried treasure map. The treasure map is the main reason to loot every shipwreck you find. It marks the exact location of a buried treasure chest nearby, which contains the heart of the sea, the only way to craft a conduit. Drowned spawn inside shipwrecks fairly often, which turns what should be a quick loot run into a slightly more aggressive situation than expected. Some shipwrecks generate with missing sections. No bow, no stern, sometimes just a chunk of hull sitting on the ocean floor with 1 chest inside. Always check every room before leaving because the treasure chest specifically is easy to miss if the ship generated at an odd angle. Ocean Ruins. Ocean Ruins are the most overlooked ocean structure in the game, which is a shame because they have some genuinely interesting things going on if you know what to look for. They come in 2 variants, warm and cold, depending on the biome, with warm ruins made of sandstone and cold ones made of stone bricks. They generate in clusters, meaning finding one usually means there are more nearby scattered across the ocean floor. Drowned spawn inside them constantly, which makes looting them more of a fight than most players expect from a pile of ruins. The loot chest inside has decent items, but nothing remarkable. The real draw is the suspicious sand and suspicious gravel that generates in and around the ruins. Brush it with an archaeology brush and you can find pottery sherds, which are used to decorate pots and cannot be found anywhere else in the game. Each ruin variant has its own set of sherds, which gives collectors a reason to hunt both types. Not the most rewarding structure in the game, but one of the most visually interesting ones to stumble across at the bottom of the ocean. Buried Treasure. Buried treasure is the payoff for every shipwreck you looted and every treasure map you followed, and it is almost always worth it. The chest generates underground, almost always under sand or gravel on a beach, and here is the detail that saves a lot of digging. It always generates at chunk coordinate 9 on both the X and Z axis, so if you know roughly where the X on the map is, you can narrow down the exact spot without digging up the entire beach. The chest itself always contains a Heart of the Sea, which is the only way to craft a conduit. The underwater beacon that gives you permanent water breathing, night vision, and haste in a radius around it. Everything else in the chest is a bonus. Diamonds, cooked fish, iron, gold, and occasionally a chainmail armor piece, which is one of the only ways to get chainmail in survival without trading. The buried treasure is also the only structure in the game that always generates at a fixed chunk coordinate, which makes it the most predictable loot chest in Minecraft. Follow the map, count the chunks, dig at coordinate 9, and it is right there every single time. Kelp Forest. The Kelp Forest is not a structure in the traditional sense. No chests, no loot, no boss waiting inside. It is just kelp. Lots of it. Growing in warm and lukewarm ocean biomes, it stretches from the ocean floor all the way to the surface and honestly looks incredible when you swim through it. The practical use is that kelp can be smelted into dried kelp, which is one of the cheapest food sources in the game, and dried kelp blocks work as furnace fuel. Not the most exciting discovery, but useful early game when food is scarce. Sea turtles hang around kelp forests too, which is relevant because turtle eggs hatch into turtles that drop scutes, and 5 scutes make a turtle shell helmet with built-in water breathing. The Kelp Forest is one of those parts of Minecraft that rewards players who actually stop and look around instead of swimming straight past it. Coral Reef. The coral reef is Minecraft's most visually impressive biome and its least rewarding one at the same time. Found in warm ocean biomes, it is packed with coral blocks, coral fans, and sea pickles in every color combination imaginable, and all of it dies the moment it leaves water, turning from vibrant to gray instantly. Which means collecting it requires a silk touch tool and keeping it submerged. Otherwise, you just end up with a collection of gray dead blocks that look nothing like what you found. Sea pickles are the only practical loot here. They produce light underwater and can be farmed with bone meal on live coral, making them one of the better underwater light sources for building. The reef itself attracts tropical fish, pufferfish, and the occasional turtle, none of which drop anything particularly useful. It is the one part of the ocean that exists purely to look good, and it does that job better than almost anything else in the game. Just do not try to take it home without a silk touch pickaxe and a bucket of water, or the whole thing dies on the way. Ocean caves. Ocean caves are one of those things that have always existed in Minecraft, but became significantly more interesting after the Caves and Cliffs update. Cave entrances open up directly on the ocean floor, leading into underground cave systems that are partially or fully flooded depending on how deep they go. Drowned spawn inside them constantly, which makes exploring an underwater cave considerably more dangerous than a regular one. Tight corridors, zero visibility without night vision, and hostile mobs coming from every direction. Aquifers generate here too, creating pockets of water inside cave systems that connect back to the ocean above, which explains why some underground caves randomly flood when you mine the wrong block. Lush caves occasionally generate with an entrance visible through the ocean floor, which is one of the more surprising things to swim over unexpectedly. Glow lichen lights up the walls in the darker sections, giving just enough visibility to navigate without torches, which would wash away underwater anyway. Ocean caves are not a structure with guaranteed loot, but they are one of the more genuinely exciting things to find while exploring the ocean floor. Ocean biomes. Not all oceans are the same, and the biome you are swimming in matters more than most players realize. There are 5 ocean variants in total: deep ocean, cold ocean, frozen ocean, lukewarm ocean, and warm ocean, each one generating different structures, mobs, and features exclusively. Warm oceans get coral reefs and ocean ruins made of sandstone. Cold oceans get kelp forests and stone brick ruins instead. Frozen oceans get icebergs with polar bears and strays hiding inside them, which is one of the more unexpected things to find floating in the middle of the water. Deep ocean variants of each biome are where ocean monuments generate, always in deep water, never in shallow variants. Shipwrecks generate in every ocean biome, which makes them the most consistently findable ocean structure regardless of where you are. The biome also determines what fish spawn naturally, which matters if you are hunting for specific drops, like pufferfish for water-breathing potions or tropical fish for axolotls. Knowing which ocean biome you are in before diving saves a lot of time and tells you exactly what to expect before you hit the water. And that is every ocean structure in Minecraft explained, from a maze full of laserfish to a chest buried under a beach that you walked past 100 times without knowing. If you enjoyed it, drop a like, it helps more than you think. Let me know in the comments which structure you had no idea existed, and subscribe if you are not already. The next video is already up, go check it out.